Welcome everyone to Belinda's Country Living. Today we are going to be making old-fashioned bread pudding. Now I have made this bread pudding many times and I've used different ingredients. But today we're just going to do just the basic, quick and easy bread pudding. And what this is going to consist of, you're going to need milk, you're going to need eggs, you're going to need vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg. You're also going to need some butter and some bread of your choice. So I'm going to set this aside here and hopefully you can see what I am doing. Now I have already cubed my bread. My hands are clean. My bread. Now you can use any type of bread. You can use Italian bread, French bread. You could use whatever you have. Biscuits, whatever type. You can also use, it's called, I believe, cinnamon bread. Cinnamon swirl bread. You can get the cinnamon with raisins. You could use that, and that's really good. But we don't care for raisins, so my recipe today is without raisins. Now, I'm using old bread, and I had 6 hot dog buns. I left one uncubed so I could show you, for those that's never made this before, what you do. And I had 4 hamburger buns. So, and all you do is use a bread knife and just slice it. And you know, bread pudding is better if the bread is a little hard, left out. You could even toast it in the oven. But this is how you do it. Do it in cubes. If you don't want to do it in cubes, you know, tear it apart with your fingers. It's not going to matter. So that's all you're going to do. And put it in a big mixing bowl. That is all you do. And that's what I'm going to do with this bun, is just pinch it apart. Now I am making a 9 by 13 bread pudding. Now this is a lot, but there's me and my 2 grandkids, and this all be ate up. And then tomorrow I'm going to my son's. He's having a little get together, so I'll take this with me tomorrow, and I'm sure they'll like it. He's got a microwave so they can warm it up. And so what you want to do is just put that in a mixing bowl. And in your 9 by 13 pan, your dish, your baking dish, you want to butter the bottom and the sides. I forgot my brush. But you want to make sure it's very well coated, just like this. Butter, butter, butter. That's a lot. But this butter will just make it that much better. And I'm using I go by good paint brushes, and that's what I use for evening out butter or oil and brushing the tops of pies. And so that's what that is. Make sure it's very well coated. Now we're going to do some mixing for the custard. bread pudding is a custard. So what I'm using today, I've got 3 cups of 2% milk. And today I am using to this 1 can of condensed milk. Now, I have made this pudding with this condensed milk, and I'm telling you, it makes this banana pudding so good and sweet. So you want to mix these two together. So 3 cups. I'm using 2% milk. You can use whole milk. And you want to mix this up very well. Blend it in. And this is the custard that we're making. Okay, and I'm telling you, if you make it with this condensed milk, oh, it is good. And to that, set this aside here, we're going to have 6 eggs. Now you may think, this is a lot of eggs. Of course it is. But this is what's going to make your custard. If you ever had custard pie, got to have the eggs for it to set up. And I believe that condensed milk also will help it be firmer as well. I do not like biting into bread pudding and it's real soggy. So if you all have problems with soggy bread pudding, it's because you have not let your bread set and soak in that custard. Okay, we're going to whisk these eggs up. I'll try not to make too much noise. Whisk these eggs. Now we're going to pour the eggs in the milk mixture. Just like that. Get all that out of there. Just use this spatula. Get it all out of there. Let's mix that up. Guess you could use a mixer if you want, but I'm just using a whisk here. So to that, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. Go ahead and stir that up. That condensed milk, it's a lot sweeter. And I have also made this with carnation milk. So whisk that up real good. To that, we are going to add a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. Now this is pure vanilla. If you don't have the pure vanilla, just use the extract and use just a little bit more. But I'm going to use 2 capfuls. And I'm doing this, the measurement thing for you guys so you would know. Because in my kitchen I usually don't measure anything. And about a couple of teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle this in. And a little bit of nutmeg. Just a dab-a-doo-ya. And this is a real good, sweet dessert, as I would call it. I remember my dad, he would always he'd wake up real early in the morning. You want to whisk all this up? He would wake up real early in the morning, and he always called my mom, Mommy. I don't know why they do that, but he'd say, Mommy, can you make me a sweet bread or something sweet? And boy, she would. She'd get right up and she would whip something up. And she made a lot of this bread pudding. Because it's stuff you already have. You have bread, you have butter, you have milk, and spices. Okay, so that is whisked up really well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this into the bread. Oh, that's my oven. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you got to be sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Let's get that out there. And you just want to press this down, get all that bread soaked in, mixed up real well. You want all of that to be soaked in, absorbed. Now you want this, we're going to pour this into a 9 by 13 pan or baking dish. I always use glass. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there. Now you need to let this set and soak for at least 10 minutes, unless you're using dried bread that's been toasted. Then you don't have to do that. But I didn't do that, so you want this to set for about 10 minutes to absorb all that custard. Press it down, make sure every piece of bread gets soaked. Okay, so when that is in 10 minutes of soaking, I will get back with you. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. I have left the pudding, banana, I got banana on my brain today. The bread pudding has been soaking for around 15 minutes. That was enough time for me to clean up my mess. So I'm going to tilt you down here and show you what it looks like. So it's all soaked up very well, and that's what you want. And so what I'm going to do, I've melted about 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to drizzle this right on top. We all gonna love butter. Yes, we do. Butter makes everything good. See that? Okay. So it is time for this to go into a 350 degree oven. You want to bake this for about 50 minutes. And then when it is done, I'll come back and I'll show you the glaze that I'm going to put on top of the bread pudding. Okay, so in the oven we go. Don't go nowhere. I want to show you something. So So 50 minutes in the oven. Anyway, I did a Temu haul. I'm going to take my apron off yesterday. And I showed you this top. And I just want to show you how pretty it looks on. It's got the lace sleeves. And this fits really nice. But I thought I would show that to you. Let me get back. It's a little big around here, kind of like it flares out a little bit. But that's okay. Maybe there's a reason. I noticed a lot of the women are tucking their shirts in the back. Or they tuck in the front like that and let this hang out. I'm too old for all this fashion, you guys. So, anyway, I thought I would show you this. So I will be back when the bread pudding is done and show you how to make a glaze to go on top of it. Okay, I am back, and the bread pudding is about ready to come out of the oven. I think I got 5 minutes left to go. Now, I did say 40 minutes, but I did check and it wasn't done. So, we're looking at around 50 minutes for you to bake that banana pudding. In the meantime, I'm going to bend you down here and I'm going to show you how I make a glaze for the top of the bread pudding. I went outside while it was baking. I changed my blouse, went outside and pulled some grass out of my flower bed out here. So I'm kind of a little out of breath. It's hot here in Indiana today. So I'm going to bend you down and show you how to make the glaze. Hope y'all can see this. Okay, you're going to need 3 cups of powdered sugar, confectionate sugar, 3 cups. Now I know you're going to say, boy, that's an awful lot, but no. Remember, we got a 9 by 13 bread pudding. We're going to put this on. You're going to need, I'm going to bend you up here. Okay, so like I said, you're going to need 3 cups of powdered sugar. You're going to need 4 tablespoons, which I've already got it measured out for you, of milk. Dump that in there. And you're going to need some vanilla. About 2 teaspoons, but I'm using the cap. There's 1. There's 2. It's just a simple glaze. I use this glaze for cinnamon rolls, just about everything. It's just a simple glaze. It's very sweet. And you just want to mix this all up about like pancake batter. As you can see, that's what you want. Ooh, yeah. Just like that. That's all you do. And that part is done. If you really like vanilla, you can add more vanilla. And you know, I thought about adding some pecans to the top of that bread pudding, but all I had was walnuts and I didn't want to do that. So anyway, and I've mixed that up real well. And as soon as that comes out of the oven, we're going to pour that on top. And let me go over there and check. I think it's about ready to come out of the oven. I will get that out for you. Oh my Lord, it looks wonderful. Oh my. Don't think it gets any better than that. Look at that. Will you? Ooh, and it smells wonderful. Now, how you can tell when that's done is you just stick just a paring knife right down the middle of it. And when it comes out clean, it's done. So, boy, it's hot too. Look at that. It doesn't get any better than this, people, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. And you know, this should cool at least 10 or 15 minutes before I cut it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some glaze on this while this is still popping hot. Just pour it on there as much as you want. I may not use all this. Oh my. But I don't know about you all, but I love bread pudding. But I do not like my bread pudding to be soggy. I'm going to lick that off. Wow, that's good. I don't like my bread pudding to be soggy. So if you all have, anybody has problems with bread pudding and you think it has come out too soggy or runny, it's because you didn't let your bread soak up all that custard. That bread has to soak up the custard and then you bake it. So, you know, I guess I could try to cut this while it's still hot and see the outcome of it for y'all. Oh man, that is so looking good, I'm telling you. Let me pull you down here. And we'll just see what's going on here. Oh yeah. And you know, for it to be really hot, it is really firm. And a lot of that is that condensed milk. Oh my goodness. Oh, I wish y'all was here. Now just look at that. It doesn't get any better than that. It's firm, smells delicious. I'm going to move this over, and I still have plenty of that. I still have plenty of the glaze. So when this does cool down, and see that glaze kind of sets up. Oh my goodness. It is hot. But I'm still going to take a bite of it. Mm-mm-mm. Look at that. Just set up really good. And it smells cinnamony. Now you could also put some cinnamon sugar on this instead of the glaze. If you would think it would be way too sweet, just sprinkle you on some cinnamon sugar. Okay, I'm gonna try this, y'all. It's hot. Ugh. Oh yeah. Whoa. Very good and very hot. Well, it is so good. I like it better with that sweetened condensed milk. I use sweetened. Alexa, stop. But I use sweetened condensed milk for a lot of dishes and carnation. Back in the day, they called it meal nut. My mom always used meal nuts. So anyway, try this. And you don't want to make a 9 by 13, half the recipe, and use you a little small baking dish for you, 1 or 2 people, and have it leftovers for the next day. Again, don't forget to like and share, subscribe to my channel, and I hope each and every one of you have a blessed weekend. Until the next video, bye-bye now.